All right, we're on a new episode of Trash Can Talk podcast. We have Asher of Young Gods MFG, the operations. What was
Manager. Operations manager. I manage.
He runs everything when I'm not here.
I'm named that. I earned that title because every day I manage.
So give us your background. You've never done that.
My background.
You've been on here with no background story.
That's true. The origin story. Let me speak on it. I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm from the Midwest. Long story short, I'm from the Midwest. And then I wiggled my way out to Los Angeles, the city of angels. And then, I just bounced around treatment centers for the longest time. And then I found NoHo recovery. You know, I left. I had to pull the prodigal son move. I left. I came back. You know, and then the merchandising class started, and the rest is history.
So you're from America's heartland.
I'm from America's heartland.
Yeah, the Midwest.
Heartland of heart disease.
Known for farming residents with friendly, down-to-earth attitudes.
Crystal methamphetamine, all of it.
They have that?
They have it all.
Dang.
Cornfields and meth. That's pretty much it. A lot of people that cooked meth in the woods for the Aryan Brotherhood. A lot of that.
What was it that? What was it
schools
that?
out there too. There's Indiana State. There's Ball State. There's Purdue and Lafayette. You know.
What was it that brought you into treatment?
Drugs. Fucking pitiful and incomprehensible demoralization, fellas. That's it right there. I was actually just talking to a client. Do I have you? What are you doing? Is your location on, bro?
It's on.
What's your background? Because last thing I heard is that your location was off and there was a bit of some turmoil going on.
I don't know. It happens to the best of us.
Dude, it happens to the best and the worst of us.
But you said pitiful and comprehensible demoralization.
That's it right there. Yeah. Just to describe it in a few words, I was living in my car. It was a fucking dusty, crusty, musty-ass Kia Optima, I believe. Kia of some sort. It was stick shift. It wasn't even...
The best.
It wasn't even fucking... I know you're partial to the stick shift.
Mine just died.
Fuck. What even happened there? We got to get into that.
I don't want to talk about it.
All right. Too close to home. Too soon. But, what did it look like? So, check it out. A little context. In Indianapolis, on the far east side where I grew up, there's a Wal-Mart.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you guys might know about this Walmart. I was just talking to a client. I can't say his name for HIPAA reasons, but I was just talking to a client, and he lived in this town where this Walmart's at. And this Walmart is, like, notorious in Indiana for being, like, just a slum of a Walmart. Like, the mayor of this town actually declared on the air that the Walmart was a public nuisance.
Is it near the Children's Museum of Indianapolis?
No, that's downtown.
Okay.
That is a fire museum, though. Yeah, fire museum. If you have children, you want to go to a museum, Children's Museum of Indianapolis, no doubt. But this Walmart, right, they even stopped sending police officers, Indianapolis police, to this Walmart. And they made the Walmart hire private security. This is true. Everything, you can fact check this. This is legitimate information I'm giving you.
It's not near the Lucas Oil Stadium at all? I'm just trying to get a frame of reference of where it's at.
I know you Googled things in Indiana. I'm telling you, there's nothing. It's corn and it's
I looked up
crystal
Indianapolis.
I mean, it's there. It's in Indianapolis.
Wait, is Indiana in Indianapolis?
It's in the zip code. Say that one more time?
Is Indiana in Indianapolis?
Say that one more time slowly.
Is Indiana in Indianapolis? 3 times, I can't say it one more.
Indianapolis is in Indiana. Yes.
Dude.
Indiana's the state. Indianapolis is the city. It's the capital inside of the greater or the lesser state, actually. Yeah, Lucas Oil Stadium. We got Eli Lilly. We've got the Indianapolis Zoo.
All right, but the police officer would not go to Walmart.
Yeah. Thank you.
Threw you off.
Walmart. So much shit happened at this Walmart. Like, just to throw out spitball one thing, my personal mom and dad were at this Walmart, and someone was caught stealing, shoplifting, walking out of this Walmart with shit in his jacket. And he, like, jogged, ran past my mom and dad. And there was like security after him, and they can't touch you, right? Or else they'll get sued. That's why they have asset protection.
Yeah, it's like that everywhere now, especially LA.
For my people on the streets that are boosting and jigging and jiving, asset protection leaves at like 6, 8 p.m. And Walmart's open all night. So do with that what you will. And the nothing illegal, though. We don't promote that. And the security guards were like, wait, stop. And this dude stopped. And he turns around. So he ran past my mom and dad, turns around, and he's facing them. And my mom, like, described this to me vividly in detail. Like, it really shook her to the core. He reaches into his jacket. And my mom thought in her head, like, what if he has a gun? And this man pulls out a bottle of Jack Daniels.
He gives it to her?
And he says, no. He doesn't give it to her. That'd be crazy, though. No, but he pulls out a bottle of Jack Daniels, no gun. And he gives it back to the security. And he takes off. Boom. Takes off through the parking lot. What this man actually does is runs across the street through the parking lot of this Walmart, public nuisance Walmart in Beach Grove, Indiana. And he runs into egg roll number 1 across the street, and he commits suicide in the fucking bathroom of egg roll number 1.
Wow.
So this was just one of the events that transpired at this Walmart.
I've been there before.
Have you been to this Walmart?
No, I'm saying I've been there to where that guy is, where he stole the alcohol and then he wanted to give it back and then committed suicide.
He's like, fuck, I can't do this.
I've been there,
Jack
dude.
Daniels. He just took, that was his rock bottom for sure.
I can feel him right now.
Dude, we all feel him. I can feel him in this room with us right now.
Yeah, he's here.
He's here. He's present.
He's glad that we made it to the other side.
So check it out. Years later.
That was incomprehensible demoralization right there.
Absolutely. And then I
At its
experienced
finest.
So I've been there too because I ended up living there at the Walmart in the parking lot in my car, stick shift Kia beater, just stinking up the car, just living in there. No shower, just on a straight diet of stolen Captain Crunch.
It's so weird because like I used to steal the same. Like, why don't we steal something good to eat?
Dude, Captain Crunch is good.
It is delicious.
I think that shit, no joke, has like every nutrient needed to stay alive.
So does the Cinnabon ice cream from Ben & Jerry's.
That's debatable. Captain Crunch? No, wait, what? The Cinnabon ice cream? I didn't even know that existed.
Dude, you're not living life yet.
Where was I when I was stealing Captain Crunch?
It's
and
there.
You were living the lavish life.
I was on that Cinnabon ice cream life, dude,
Oh
from
my
Ben & Jerry's, the
God.
half pint.
I was missing out the half pint, of course. And then occasionally I would stay in the Red Roof Inn across the street.
But you were also one of those down by the river guys, right?
And then occasionally I would sleep in a tent behind Waffle House. Because
Was that down by the river?
There was a river. It was not down by there. It was really more down by the bowling alley. It was really down by the Waffle House.
So there was no water by where you stayed?
There was a cat shelter.
Tell us about this cat shelter. Can we look it up online or no?
You can see it on Google Maps, but you cannot see the cat shelter is there. You can see the path that I took to get to this cat shelter. So my car would be out of gas, right? What the fuck are you doing?
Sorry, I wanted to play this one thing. Go ahead.
This dude's taking every second to listen to Hermosi's book.
No, I wish. I just don't have it in me to listen.
Oh, wow.
I was just going to play this one.
Play.
I wanted you to be down by the river because there's a skit.
You gonna play some Down by the River? Some yeehaw shit? Let's see it.
Chris Farley.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Now, as your father probably told you, my name is Matt Foley, and I am a motivational speaker.
That's me, huh?
Now, let's get started by letting
Dude,
me give you a little
that's
bit
you
of a
if you, like, gain
scenario
back
of what
those 13
my
pounds.
life is all about. First off, I am 35 years old, I am divorced, and I live in a van down by the river.
So we'll segue. We'll segue into this too, though.
Segue it.
I mean, I did take a vested interest in mentoring you,
True.
right? Could you consider
True.
that? Okay.
I could say I would agree with that. Oh my! What is that?
One mic that was horribly clipped onto the side of the table just fell off.
Dude, not the horribly clipped mic.
And what
you
do you
did
what
take
do
a
you,
vested interest?
and how? I mean, I'm not gonna say that I helped you stay sober, but
I will. You helped me stay sober. You're helping me stay sober.
I feel like the guy down by the river.
Yeah, everyone needs someone down by the river when they're getting sober. Yeah, for sure.
And we started printing.
Yeah.
And
we continued printing.
And we continue printing. We were printing today.
So for those of y'all that don't know, this is what's going on. We're printing. We're printing clothes left and right. We printed this that he's wearing right now. Yeah. This is a custom cut and sew T-shirt. You can't find this.
Printed that yours.
Oh,
everything you're wearing.
This, of course, head to toe. I don't wear anything else. See, once you kind of peel the curtain back, so to speak, and you see what's going on in the manufacturing industry, dude, it makes you sick to go and buy something at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah.
You know that they made that shit for $1.50, and they're selling it for $200.
Right.
Oh, fuck.
And what we primarily focus on is DTF printing. And since DTF printing is relatively new and
in like the last decade,
there's advanced technique in the garment industry. A segment explain in this segment right here what DTF printing and why it's revolutionary.
DTF printing is really groundbreaking. It's really exciting. DTF printing is truly exciting because it's like lightning fast. You can't beat the speed. On top of that, there's a whole nother layer to it. You cannot beat the cost.
Right.
So for people like you and I that like to create a lot of stuff, like almost too much stuff, which I was talking to you about earlier. Almost too much. If you like to create almost too much, DTF was invented for you. Because with DTF printing, I can make one design like this one, and I could pop out I don't know how many of this, 11 or something, different variations of this design. And I want to stretch this down here. I want to rearrange the graphics on it. I want to change the typography of the words. I want to change how it's styled. I can do all that in like an hour.
Yeah.
So we work in minutes and hours and not days and weeks.
That's the thing. We do work in minutes and hours and not days and weeks. And we do have like, so we have a sampling process too, which in my opinion is very fairly priced. I have it priced at about $500, and what that includes is. Now I'm gonna tell you.
Tell them.
So you're gonna get like, if you have no design, we're gonna start the design. That means you have nothing but an idea. Now, if you have nothing,
which is everything. That's all you need. You have an idea. It's up here. Bring it to us. We put it down here.
Yeah. So you could have nothing but the idea, and in the same day. You will leave with tangible items in your hand. Mm-hmm. So
a whole lot of
you got to get us the idea though. Actually, at midnight exactly, while I'm still awake, before I fall asleep at 2 and wake up at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Which then will assure that your design is print ready by 9:30 a.m. and could possibly come out the printer. But
prompt.
I mean, that is, in my opinion, anyone who's been in this game for a long time. If you like come up with the idea and you go to screen print, you're like, wow, I just printed that way too large. Or what we see a lot of is like someone screen prints the back and they're like, it's way too small. It doesn't even take up. It doesn't take up.
Small.
Well, sometimes chest hits.
Yeah.
So people will print the chest hit too big.
Dude, it's hard to do.
And then the back hit too small.
We gotta validate. This is difficult.
It's not easy.
You come into the game and you know that there's some kind of standards. You know that you go to Target and you see shirts printed one way and it's always in one spot and it's always one size. But when this is all coming from your mind and you're trying to do it different, it's difficult to do. So someone like you that knows A to Z, the ins and outs of the game, that's where you come in.
Yeah.
And then DTF printing comes in as a helpmate because it makes it just that easy to change it and to get it exactly nailed down to where you love it.
But I actually
there
here's the interesting, because you came into DTF with no knowledge of printing at all whatsoever.
Zero. I had a doodle on a napkin.
It's kind of cool because the way that you approach printing is different than anyone else will, because you don't think in limited possibilities of like, oh, I have to take this image, burn it on a screen, or you're like, okay, I'm gonna print this DTG, I print it all the way out, it's wrong. Like, we can literally print, like, this is the coolest thing with the sampling process, is you could just print like 10 different sizes of something.
That's what I'm saying.
In one thing.
Yeah.
So you're like, You'll like try all the sizes within an hour and be like, okay, that's what I want.
Yeah, and we call it a gang sheet. So we'll put a whole sheet down where we take your design and we lay it, flip it, invert it, resize it in as many different variations that we can think of and that you can think of. And then one of them will hit. One of them will look exactly like how you wanted it to. And so we're going to help you pull out. That's the craziest part. You know, I was just thinking about this too. I'm always thinking right before I go to sleep and shit. Michelangelo said that sculptures were already inside of the stone. Yeah. And you just had to find the angel. You had to pull it out. So that's what we do with designs. It's already in there. It's in the t-shirt. It's in the person's mind. It's in the atmosphere, what have you. Right. And we pull it out just by the simple process of trial and error. We just keep going until we find this is it. Right. We did the exact same thing with the shirts you're wearing.
The same thing, yeah. So this has been printed different sizes. It's
show them. Turn a little, let the crystals hit the light.
Yeah, this is, I mean, these are really, really nice crystals too. So we didn't go cheap on the crystals here.
We didn't go cheap on the crystals here.
We didn't go cheap on the crystals here. Now that's in the podcast.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so and then we did it full chest.
I think that was the wrong sound. I'm still getting to know this soundboard over here. I'm not so sure what I pressed.
And if you guys have any questions about any of this process, drop them in the comments below.
Let us know. That's what we're here for.
We're light on the interaction on these podcasts. The views are up. Okay. But we're light on the interaction. So if you guys want to throw some comments,
talk to us, y'all. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your opinions, your ideas, your questions, your comments,
some
concerns.
Thumbs up, anything. Like it, share it.
Give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs down. Give us anything. Just talk to us.
We just want to know you're out there.
We want to know.
What were the biggest challenges you faced while masтерting?
While masturbating?
DTF printing.
While mastering DTF printing.
Because here's another thing, guys. If you're getting into this, you will lose your mind.
Lord have mercy.
Multiple times.
Over and over. I remember last time we sat down and chatted, you were like, I know some days you don't even want to be here. And I was like, most days. And you're like, not most days. But the craziest thing is, I'll go through periods of time where I'm like, fuck this. I just like every fiber in my body wants to walk myself out. And like, then I know, where would I go? What would I do? Because how much more set up for success could I be than in a field where I'm passionate about the subject? Right. Because I worked at so many fast food restaurants, and I couldn't even outshine the grill master guy flipping the burgers because I didn't care. But when I'm passionate about something, I'm working longer hours. I'm waking up earlier and staying up later. And I'm just putting out more and doing more, moving my body more than someone that just doesn't care.
Yeah, you can hope that you... It's weird, though, because you've already realized this. But when it is your job... When your passion is your job,
it gets dicey.
Sometimes, you know what I mean? And for any entrepreneur, I hope nobody's lied to you, because I heard a lot of people say this. They said, quit your 9 to 5 so that you can make your own schedule. If you're a real entrepreneur, I know you know that schedule is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if you're watching this and you're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur so you can set your own schedule, this is the biggest lie you've ever been sold.
Take heed.
The real schedule is 24/7, all hours of the day, all hours of the night.
65 days a year.
7 days a week. Yeah, 365 days a year.
You can name the last 4 holidays, and I was here in this office all 4 of them.
Yeah.
You did come in to see me, though, on Christmas.
Yeah.
You were like, yo, what's going on?
But, like, the phone doesn't stop ringing, too. So it's like someone, if they put an order with me, it doesn't matter what day it is, they're still, you know what I mean? Like, they're still, it could be Christmas morning, and you know what I mean? They're like, hey, do you have my order ready for tomorrow? Because I'm going to pick it up.
And what do you say?
And you got to be like, oh, yeah, as soon as I wake up in the morning, you're the first thing I'll be on.
It's the very first thing.
And you got it. I mean, it's like, so yeah, anyone who wants to become an
But don't get us wrong. It is a pleasure. It is a blessing that we're able to be a part of this.
No, it is a blessing.
You gotta love the hustle. You gotta love the hustle.
I appreciate everyone who has supported us from day one.
All of you. This love goes out to you. Feel
Special shout outs to Armin,
Yo.
Narek.
Oh yeah.
My brother was a day one supporter.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Green from Get Your Move On. So yeah, we had some serious. We have some
Dude,
supporters.
Derek Green was there when no one else was for us.
Make sure to put your orders in again though. If I said your name and you haven't in the last month,
Put us in.
right?
Fit us in there. We're waiting to hear from you.
And,
Talk to us.
Yeah, no. So what did? Okay.
Real quick, I wanted to say something. This is something I've wanted to say for a long time.
Yeah, don't forget to tell us your biggest challenge from mastering DTF.
I won't.
Right.
We'll get there. We'll wind up there. But this shit is all hours of the day, all hours of the night, most likely. This will eat up your schedule because you're trying to eat up your dream. So you're really trying to make it. So there's qualifications. You cannot quit your 9 to 5 because that's a crazy quote right there. So I just had to circle back. You cannot just quit your 9 to 5 and make your own schedule. You can, but most likely, unless you're like 1 in a million, you will go broke or worse, trying to make your own schedule. You're either going to go broke or you're going to go busy. So the qualifications are you have to know that you don't want a 9 to 5. You don't want to work in a kitchen. You don't want to do a traditional work environment. You don't want to go the cubicle route first. And second, you have to know, as important, if not more important, that you're willing to work harder and more than the people in the cubicle and the people in the kitchen, because it's going to be that much harder to essentially climb out of this hole that you're putting yourself in by setting yourself up for being your own boss. And that's just important before you start. You're like, do I want to not work a 9 to 5? And if so, do I want to make sure I over and outwork everybody else because I'm going to have to? So that's a lesson I'm learning right now. But I just wanted to let that be said. What was the question?
So, what was the biggest challenges you faced while mastering DTF printing?
Mastering DTF printing, I don't think is the goal or possible.
I don't think it's possible.
I don't think it's possible or the goal.
But I would
Because
say you're a master of DTF printing.
I'm mastering it. It's a continuous process because DTF printing, like he said, it is the newest, like you said, the newest form of printing. So we're on the forefront of industry. We're on the front right now. We're on the cutting edge. And so while DTF is growing and progressing, we have to be continually growing and progressing. So
right.
But a hurdle was, it gets very technical.
Yeah, running the printer. And there's lots of technical aspects to every part of it.
There is, I'm saying, and there's very little room for error. If you fuck up one thing, or mess up, rather, excuse my language. If you mess up one thing in the process, it will ruin the entire process, the entire end result. Yeah. But you will not know until you get to the end result. So you kind of, you have to be very detail-oriented. You have to like solving problems.
Yeah.
And you have to be passionate about it. That's the number one thing.
And then with you, because like you have a unbiased way of designing for DTF printing, where I think of like, what always messes me up is I'm like, like laying out the cut. Like I think of how I would print in every other format, but how do you approach the creative process from like conceptualizing designs to final product?
That's a good question. Approach the process really just hands-on. You have to go head first in there and know that, I'm still learning myself. So I'm not afraid to go in and think I don't know everything. I might have to tweak something here and there, and that someone always knows more than me. Someone like you might come in and be like, have another idea and be like, what if you did this? And just be receptive to new, to feedback.
Yeah.
But designing something, it really all starts with an idea. That's what I'm saying is the most important. If it's up here in your head, then you're really just going to combine forces with DTF in a wonderful way to where DTF can make it happen. Whereas screen printing might be other forms of manufacturing might be difficult to make it happen. But if you're making mock-ups of a T-shirt, you're halfway there. If you're making the PNG, correct me if I'm wrong. If you're making a PNG of a T-shirt already or a piece of clothing, you're already halfway there to get it to the final result. So approach it that way, to where if you have the idea, you can make it happen.
And then what inspires your designs? Do you even stay updated with current trends or merchandising, art? Like, is there anything that you're like looking at and you're like I'm gonna go this way? Or
Yeah, there is. I think everyone has, sources that they pull from.
right.
Staying up to, that's kind of two different questions. Staying up to date on current trends, I want to say I really do, because that can start to feel like pressure, or I can start to be overwhelmed by the sense of everyone else is doing this too, and they're doing it better than me. They might be doing something different, and I feel like they've already done it all. I can't do anything different now.
Yeah.
So I'll pull a lot of times from random sources. I might read something. I'm reading The Count of Monte Cristo. I might read something, and there's a quote, and I feel like that's cool.
I know quotes push me a lot too.
Yeah, you can get so much from them.
Yeah.
This sweater that I'm wearing, I mean, this is like a treatment specific term. That we have a confidentiality agreement. We have an agreement to keep private information private.
Right.
And so I heard this I heard this phrase, bounced around treatment, rather, a lot through the years, from Kentucky to Indiana, all these treatment centers to California. And eventually I thought I might put a twist on it to have a sort of secrecy connotation to it, to kind of feel like, you know what I mean? Real privacy, like privy, make it kind of feel like privy to some information, or like silence. So it can kind of just come from, that's what I like to pull from more. Movies, random stuff, I don't like to be like, this trend is going on. Although occasionally, I feel like a trend will come up, like low poly. You know about this?
No.
Dude, there's a whole trend on TikTok as we speak. It started like 1 month ago-ish, of low poly, making graphics that look like they're from a PlayStation 2 game, like an old GTA game. Yeah, it's huge. It's all over TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. And so there will be something like that, which I even hesitate to speak on because it's a current trend that I might want to use. But hey, if you're out there and you're listening, take this and run with it. Low poly art is booming right now. So something like that really strikes me in a certain way, I feel like is cool. Dude, I feel like you're not listening when you're on.
I am listening, sorry.
Say more about that, because I believe you, but most people probably wouldn't.
I mean, I have it in here on the headphones.
Yeah, but in general, one thing about this guy, I don't know how many of y'all grew up with a mom and dad that, like, when they looked like they weren't listening, they weren't listening. This guy, he'll look like he's on a mission in his own world, and he'll hear every word that you said, and he'll respond with a completely legitimate answer, and you can just run with that.
I was listening.
That's a skill of yours. I gotta recognize. I forget what I was saying, but yeah.
Well, like, what other? I mean, I didn't even think of that I didn't even think of what you just said. I thought of a million different things, and that's like the coolest thing of like merchandising, is I didn't think of confidentiality agreement having anything to do with treatment.
Yeah.
And then because it had like, what it has.
The morality monkeys.
Yeah, so I'm like, it's interesting that that's what influenced it, because it makes me think like 100 different things.
Right.
By seeing it.
That's the beauty of it.
Like, I actually thought when I saw it, what I thought is that there's so I'll tell you. So when I saw the shirt, I was like, oh, he's expressing the 3 different ways of a confidentiality agreement. Because one person could hear something but not see it, and one person could say something but not. Oh, you know what I mean?
Shit.
So I was like,
yeah, I love
what
that.
his shirt is saying is that there's like, it's how you perceive it, like what you're saying. You know what I mean? What you're confidential about.
Yeah.
Because like, if I go like this, and someone screams like, "Get your hands off me!" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't see it, then my mind could think 1,000 different things. And maybe if I was watching the news, and then I'm like, oh, someone was like raped in North Hollywood, and I heard that, then I'm like, well, I don't know that that's what happened, but I heard someone screaming for help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like my perception of what that shirt means is like 100 times different than what you made.
Yeah, but that's the
best part about art.
That is the best part about art. It's open to interpretation.
I mean, and
can we real quick? Can we just throw
a
picture of the sweater up on the screen? Because they might not even know what I'm talking about. But in post, let's just throw up a picture of the sweater.
Okay, yeah.
So take a look at that. But yeah, that's kind of the great thing about it.
You gotta
took it
send a
nother
picture.
level.
What time stamp does it say right now?
You took a whole nother level deeper. 3013
Okay.
or 3010 rather. Let's just put it up for like 10 seconds in there. What was I about to say? But
You're
yeah, it
talking
kind of
about-
also ties in another meaning to kind of build off of that is the Alcoholics Anonymous. Since we're both sober guys, some sober dudes in here,
Yeah.
recovering gentlemen.
Shout out to AA.
Shout out. It ties into what you hear here, what is said here, what
Yeah.
you see here. Let it stay here.
Right, I get it.
So, yeah.
I get it a lot now.
There's so many meanings. It's open to interpretation.
Right.
That's the beauty.
I mean, that's even, dude. I just like when people have their own interpretation to my artwork.
Of course.
That's why I made that
that's
one.
all you want as an artist.
That's why I made that one, the glory hole.
Yeah.
And then I've never said anything. I have no standpoint on the art.
The glory hole, sure. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
If you know,
We'll probably like run it again on one of those like July 4th or something or Independence Day.
Dude, what's his name? Loves it. He
Yeah,
rocks
I
that
know he
shit
wears
heavy.
all the time.
Hell yeah.
And then what is one piece of advice you wish you had received at the beginning of this career?
That's so tough. One piece of advice I wish I received at the beginning of the career.
What did we just have turn off?
I don't know. That must have been the Insta360. That's what it sounded like. What's it doing? Oh, wow. Why did it just turn off and on?
All right, it's all right. Go ahead.
Not the crux of the episode.
I know. Well, it's just we probably got a good amount of, it'll just be a straight camera shot now.
Dude, that's like real shit.
Yeah.
Off the record, that's such a hard question. I don't know if I've received that piece of advice yet.
Right.
It's probably something more tied into sobriety than into TTF printing.
Really?
Probably.
And what is it?
I don't know. I can think of so many things, but
There's a lot of things I could think about sobriety.
there's all kinds of things I can think about with the naming a brand, getting a brand off the ground, marketing, cleanliness, being sober. There's so much.
I wish someone would have taught me ever before my sobriety about being about finances.
Oh yeah.
I just wish someone, dude. I wish someone would have taught me about credit.
Dude, I wish anyone would have ever taught us about finances.
I know.
Ever.
It's like my biggest setback, dude. Is like,
Dude, I had to learn about finances through you partially, and you already know how that went.
right.
Yo, we have to talk about some shit.
What, the ditties?
There's a few things going on.
The $20,000 dildos or ditties, or
Come on, speak on it.
is it one or is it many?
So what happened? You were like, dude, they got Diddy with $20,000 worth of dildos.
I did say that before we got on. Let me look it up.
And I said, yo, that could either be a ton of dildos or like one super nice dildo.
Yeah.
So
He
now
seems like he'd have a nice one.
No, he probably would. 20 grand on a dildo.
Here we go. It's on X.
He probably drops that on a Thursday afternoon. He probably drops that at 2 p.m. 20 grand dildo, boom. Who knows what it's like? What's it made out of?
Dude, all I see is 20K used dildos.
Are you on
dildos
shopping?
Found in Diddy's apartment. This is on X.
Go into
Are
the
they
shopping,
for real?
Try and look for one. See if we can find a dildo for 20 grand.
Well, these are Diddy's. He
Diddy's-
probably has the best.
This is his personal collection.
Yeah, let me see if I put the dollars.
What would that
down.
be made out of even?
I mean, one of his chains probably cost that
Diamond?
much.
It'd be a diamond dildo.
Like I said, one of his
hurts
chains,
so bad.
one of his chains. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
imagine
so
if he had like that as a pendant.
Does he have a dildo chain?
I'm sure.
Maybe that's what they were talking about. They
$20,000.
twisted it. They twisted that. A diamond dildo sounds like the most excruciating experience of my life. I just started taking this mass gainer and creatine and shit and fiber stuff, and I take shits that feel like I have a diamond dildo going on.
So there's an $1,000 one. He might have had 20 of those.
Like Swamp Giant alien dildo.
And I'll put this in the. I'll put this. So he could have had 20.
That's a $20,000 dildo.
Yeah, and I'll put this in here. I'll screenshot it right now.
If you guys are shopping around, that's what 20 grand can
Well,
get
it could have been
in a
20 of
dildo.
these.
Oh, wow. Oh. He had those laying around the house. Those were nothing, man.
Oh wait, I need to preface this more before I just send it to the guy. The link. He'll be like, canceled.
Recommendation.
I wonder if you can get
Upwork band.
sexual harassment on Upwork employees.
If you can, it would be by sending our boy, what's his name?
Yeah.
Mohammed Adjilabad. Sending him a swamp, scary, slimy, $20,000 crystal dildo. They're on sale. There was something else we had to discuss.
That was it.
You're losing weight, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to.
Are you on a diet?
I'm on a diet.
Congratulations, bro. I can tell. You're getting slim and trim.
Down 14 pounds. About 3 weeks.
Pounds, damn.
Diet's good.
14 pounds
Gym,
in 3
yeah.
weeks? No way.
Yeah.
Is that serious?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, that's like a month.
You're just going crazy, huh?
Well, you see, I'm working out twice a day.
Yeah.
The diet's like really on point.
And like off the air and everything, this is really to beat the shit out of Craig Mack Legend.
Dude, I want to. But I hope he makes it to the fight. You know what I mean?
Are we getting that ring?
Like,
Are
dude,
we getting
here's the thing.
That boxing match?
I do want to turn this into a boxing match.
Damn.
I do now,
Do
actually.
it.
But
You
like,
gotta
it
do
could,
it.
it's gonna
you
take.
know he's training. He's going full Mr. Miyagi, Karate Kid. He's running up and down stairs, mountains.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna take me like a year,
Dude.
but I'll fuck him up, dude.
Yeah.
I'll bring him on the podcast, but you're gonna die.
Going down.
I have a video actually I'm posting tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, no, that's the best stuff to come out of this creative space as of recent. Is the smoke between Craig Mack and Brandon.
He's going down.
Dude, he's going down heavy.
Now,
Right.
is there a motto or principle that you live by? I'm going to go with some outro questions right now. So,
A motto.
anything that's guided you through your ups and downs, like a motto, anything.
Yeah.
What is it?
A motto that I have lived by.
I'll tell you mine after yours.
Tell me yours first.
No, you go. I'll tell you it if you want, if it will prompt you.
It prompts me. What's your motto?
My motto is trust the process. Now, let me explain to you. I've been saying this before I even trusted the process. So, like, a lot of it was like, I think in the beginning, it was easier for me to go trust the process over trust God. But now a lot of it is just, I say trust the process, but that's what I mean. But trust the process, I would say it in my head like a mantra the first 2 years, and I had no clue what the process was. But I did know that if I stayed in Alcoholics Anonymous, that I saw people do that and get better. And so that was mine. I still always...
That's a good one.
It's like it goes over in my head. The bad days, my harder days, I'm like, trust the process.
Yeah.
Trust the process.
Yeah.
This hard ass day is part of the process. So yeah, anything that you have, like,
Dude, I feel like, and something similar. I mean, we've all had that. We're on a long day of work. It's like getting to feel like manual labor.
right.
And it's just like, fuck, and you've got some phrase repeating in your head, and it just gets you through. Mine was usually like, you gotta bring home the bacon.
Yeah.
Gotta bring home the bacon. Gotta
That's a
bring
good
home
one.
the bacon. Gotta bring home the bacon.
And
But
all
there's
that
really-
bacon's just for you to eat, so.
Yeah, it is. That's how you know you're stockpiling bacon.
Right.
But dude, I can't think of something like that off the top of my head.